The vibration of wanting and the vibration of having are two totally separate realities. In this video, I'm going to show you how to create that shift so that you are and have that which you desire. Welcome back to another video. My name is Aaron and I help people expand their consciousness. Now in this video, I'm going to be sharing with you how you can move from the vibration of wanting something and how that wanting something implies a level of lack, and how you can move into the vibration of having your desires, your manifestations, or whatever you're focused on. Now, the first part of understanding this is that it's about knowing that there are different perceptions of reality based on different perceptions of consciousness. So when we look at that of the vibrational scale, you may have seen me talk about it before, but there's lower level vibrations at the bottom, there's higher vibrations at the top. Now what happens is the higher up this you go, the more you raise your vibe, the more manifestation becomes very easy. The easier it becomes. And it's a kind of a paradoxical thing, because there's been times where I get so much into work mode and doing things, and I realize I'm working hard, even though I love what I do. But there are times I realize that sometimes that caps me out. Caps me out of like maybe 450 or 400 on that scale of consciousness, which goes from 0 to 1,000. And most people will be between the vibrational levels of, let's say, 200 to 450, I would say, especially people watching this video. Normally, most of the world is actually even lower than that. And it's not about, I'm this vibration, you this vibration, who's higher, who's lower. But it is about becoming aware of where it is in congruence or in alignment with actually you. Because the truth is, you are unconditional love and bliss. That's who you really are. But what happens is we forget that. We go through certain life experiences and we get muddled up in these lower vibrations. We think we're not worthy, and then we have to move our way back up. And the way we move our way back up is by letting go. It's by becoming aware. It's by doing a lot of the work that you see that we do on this channel. A lot of the intention is to move us back up this vibrational scale. Now with manifestation, you may have noticed that back in the day when I started my way of making YouTube videos, I was making a lot of videos on the law of attraction. And it was something I was very passionate about, and still am to a certain level. But eventually I moved out of just talking about the law of attraction and moved into this type of work, because I realized that it depends with the law of attraction with the level of consciousness. Because if somebody's feeling anger and has suppressed emotion, when it comes to manifestation, that's much harder to do, because they're trying to raise their vibe, but they have this stuff that's holding them down, and then the energy that they're emitting out with their intention, with their thoughts, isn't actually able to really align them to a higher level of manifestation being easy. So this is the big caveat with manifestation. And a lot of times what you hear in like a book like Think and Grow Rich, which is still an amazing book, but it's a white hot burning desire. I have a white hot burning desire. But when you're looking at the scale of consciousness, that is true from where a lot of the people's consciousness was, especially back in the 1930s when that book was written. And even now, that book, many millionaires say that the book Think and Grow Rich is what helped them on their path to becoming successful. It can still work, but the thing is you move from that wanting to then taking massive action, and then taking the massive action makes you go, I want, I'm starting to, and then you start to have, then you start to have, then you start to have, until eventually you have. So that's the bridge. But what I'm saying is that when we focus instead on raising our vibrational state of consciousness, you may still take action, but it's coming from a higher frame. It has to do with the energy underneath the action you're taking. Now, in general, the vibration of desire is calibrated at 125 out of this scale of consciousness. And desire, while sometimes can be, somewhat of a thing that brings you up if you're at the lower levels, below 125, below 125 is shame, fear, guilt. Then you got desire. Then eventually you'll have willingness. And then you'll have acceptance. You have neutrality about 250. So, and then you'll have love, joy, peace, enlightenment at the top. Now, the key is, it's knowing and imagining two different versions of you. Imagine the version of you wanting versus the version of you having. There are two different realities that exist right now. There's a version of you that has what you desire. There's a version of you that is living in that life. Now look at the vibrational difference. Now remember, our vibration is a combination of how we think, how we feel, and how we act. So the vibration of the one version of us that wants versus the vibration of the one version of us that has. The way when we're wanting, we're saying, I really, really want, which means I don't have. Think about how that version of you thinks, feels, and acts. Or it probably thinks in the form of, I don't currently have that, I really want it. What will I do to get it? And then you got feel. What am I feeling? I'm feeling lack. I'm feeling like I don't currently have it. Maybe like I'm not enough. And how are you acting? You might be carrying yourself in a way to where you're not actually moving in the vibration of having. You're just feeling that lack, and therefore you may be just acting as if body language that you don't really have what you want, that you're kind of looking for answers. But there's a big vibrational difference between wanting versus having. And the version of you that has it, it's natural for you. So in this video, I want to share 3 things that you can apply to this process to bridging that gap, what you can do about this. Now the first one has to do with importance. You've probably heard me talk about this before, but the more we put something on a pedestal, the more we vibrationally separate ourselves from it. So if you put something on a pedestal and you say, I really, really want this pen, which is ironic because I have it in my hands right now, but if I put it over here and it's like, whoa, I really, really want it. It would be so amazing if I had that pen, because then I could draw stuff on the board. If I had that pen, it would be amazing. OMG. Well, if I stay in that vibration, there's not really an actualization of me having the pen, which then the power is intention. But I can't put the pen on a pedestal. If I put that pen on a pedestal, go, wow, I would really, really want that pen. Am I worthy of the pen? Is there belief that I should have the pen? Shouldn't I have the pen? You see, but we do that because it sounds funny when it's about a pen because nobody has importance with it. It's just a pen. Bro, it's just a pen. Pick up the pen, right? Well, the idea is that when people come with relationships, they're in the same way. Instead of just being natural for them to be in a relationship, to love themselves and then have someone else to reflect that love back, they put it on a pedestal. They go, oh my, OMG, it's on a pedestal. It's so amazing. It would be so amazing if I had that love in my life. OMG, I really, really want you. Will you just come in my life, please? I love it. And then it's like, whoa, it's on a pedestal too. It's very, very important. So you see, a relationship and a pen are a neutral idea. Yes, we'll have more of a deep emotional relationship with that of a person. Unless you watch like TLC, I'm sure there's somebody that has a pen addiction that makes love to their pen, like the guy that makes love to his car. I'm sure that exists out there as well. But in general, it's about understanding the neutral idea, because this is the thing. Thoughts, beliefs, then create the emotions we have. Am I saying that we don't have real emotional connections with other people? No. I'm saying we do have emotional deep connections with people, and that's our nature. However, what I'm saying is many times it's a belief that vibrationally puts things on a pedestal and makes it important. If you think someone's out of your league, you're going to put them on a pedestal, you're going to be very resistant around them, and your energy is not going to be natural, and they're going to feel that desperation off you. Imagine that pen feeling the desperation. It's like, bro, I'm not in the, this is a little bit too much for me. You are obviously real attached to the outcome. I can feel that desperation, and it may sit over there on a pedestal. You see? It sounds funny when I go from the pen to the person, because then you can see the dichotomy of the energy that we put towards each individual one. But importance is the key to seeing these things as natural. The version of you that has success, that does what you love for a living, that is in that state, this stuff is natural. It is natural for you. So start to take things off a pedestal by realizing the neutrality of it, realizing that you are good either way. Whether that pen is in your hand or not, you don't need to draw, because your words alone can get the point across. But if I want to, it's cool. I can have the pen. I can draw a little chart right here that looks kind of cool. And I can put vibe, think, feel, act, and want versus have, and all. You see what I mean? Like, I can do all this too, but I don't put this on a pedestal. I just put it right here. But I put the cap on first, because otherwise it dries out. And these pens are pretty big, so I don't want to draw out the ink. So, I want versus I have. It's natural. I'm just so silky smooth. I got that groove. I just do what I do. That's how I feel. But I want. Feel the difference in the voice. I want. Give me. I want. I take. Versus I have. I got silky smooth voice tonality because I just naturally have. It's a part of who I am. I see my reality as equal to me having what I want because I am that person. Now we're going to take things to the next level because what I'm going to share with you now is about to blow your mind. Are you ready for this? Then let's go. So that's the level having, let's say that's the level of 300 to 450. Here's the next level. Are you ready for this? Like this video if you are ready for this next topic. Smash that like button. I really, really want you to smash that like button. Please smash that like button. It'd make me feel so good. I want you to do it. Or you can just smash that like button if you like. I'm completely neutral. It is natural for me to make a video and for people to like it and then smash that like button. So if you could just smash that like button real quick, then you'll see that it just feels so good. Because then you see that smash like button go up. You see what I mean here? There's a difference in the vibration of these two different realities. And also, for real, like this video if you like it because I'm acting out these different states of consciousness. Let me know if you like this because if so, then I will do more like this. I'm actually enjoying this. So, your mind's about to be blown to smithereens. I love you, but this is part of consciousness, okay? This is a part of work, all right? Wanting versus having. Okay, one's vibration, they're two totally separate realities. You want to know what else is a completely separate reality? An X. Now, being, have, do, be. Being is the highest level where you could be at. Being present to the moment. A lot of times having can still be in the present moment, but being is coming at it from a level of consciousness that's higher. A level of consciousness that is more accepting of the present moment. And it comes from a level of it coming from your core. It's a part of your identity. For example, somebody could fake it till they make it, and then they could become like, they could have something, but normally it may not be sustained unless they see it as a part of who they are. So it's the being level. Who are you really? What is your passion? What is your frequency? That's why I always talk about core frequency. Because I believe that I'm doing what I love for a living. I get to make videos, this is what I love doing. And because I'm in this frequency, other people feel it and they may or may not get value from it. But the idea is that I put that out because it's what I enjoy doing. Now, that's me being in the high vibrational frequency that I am. You are a high frequency being. Remember, you are unconditional love 100. What? Sorry, it's gonna bother me. You are a high frequency being. And you are unconditional love, joy, peace, enlightenment. You just forget that. You come here and then you want something, then you try to have something instead of just being who you really are, which is so cliche, but is so it's so true. So what you want to do is you want to focus on being, which is a 450 plus level of consciousness where you're present to the moment, you're in flow state, you're doing what you love. Find out what you love, start to set the intention and realize that when you do that, you will transcend wanting and having because you're being. Now, for example, let me show you why this would be something like, you ever heard where they ask a billionaire, they say, hey, you got all this money, if you're to lose it all, they always ask like I don't know, someone interviewing me, hey, you lose it all, what would you do? What would you do? You're gonna have billions of dollars, what would you do? Well, what do they always say? They would say, well, I would create it again. Or I would do this, and this, and you know, because what they know from being very successful is replicatable. It's a part of who they are now. It's a part of their identity. You see, so they would just recreate it because they have the systems, they know how to do it because that's who they are. They are being. They are not dependent on that. You see, that being is a state of consciousness that has within it a certain gravity that then sees it on the reflection. This is what most people do. He has arms. He says, I want that heart. I want, give me love. And then what they do is they say, give it to me. And I want that. But the truth is that love is already within you. It's within. You're just giving it permission to say, that's a symbol. That's a symbol. That person loves me. Now I love myself. And instead what you do is you can just love yourself now. That's a symbol. Same with money. We look at money, we chase money. But guess what? Money is energy. And if you focus on the energy within yourself, cultivating that energy and managing your own energy. People that normally have trouble or issues with money aren't managing their energy correctly. If you manage your energy correctly, normally you'll find that you create systems and abundance for it to come back to you. It normally has to do with adding value and putting good energy out there for your vibration of who you really are. Now, oh my goodness, I want love, I want money. But it's coming from thinking that those things are outside of you. The truth is, those things are inside of you. They are reflections of your energy. Which is why when you say to a billionaire who is at the, most likely doing what they love at a certain level, I would say that they must be passionate about what they do. They're in a being vibration. They're like, well, what would you do? People are like, well, talking about the money. You don't have the money. What do you do? They're like, well, the money, it's within here. So I can just recreate it. And I don't have to I don't need that. It's just a reflection. So there's this mirror reflection. So the second thing I want to talk about is this mirror. There's this mirror reflection delay. And what happens is now on the planet, the vibrations continue to increase. That delay is going away. It's going away more and more. Things are manifesting quicker than ever. Now what happens though is know and trust the process of going within and developing you at the being level. And by trusting that process, you'll eventually see a new reflection on the outside. But you have to trust it. You have to trust the mirror. You see, you have a certain momentum going. You have a certain momentum where you say, I want. And because you want, then it's like, okay, well, I went over and I have. And then you keep looking over to see, is what I want here? But the idea is that you may have been saying, I want for a long time. Because of that, there's a certain momentum. So the key is to remain in your own energy regardless of what the outside shows, because then you'll eventually find is that by doing so, it does reflect that, but you can't be attached to it. Just like we know with a mirror, the standard mirror analogy, you look into a mirror and you see that and you look at it and you go, you need to change your reflection. Well, of course that looks ridiculous, right? But if I just change my reflection, it eventually changes. But imagine there's a delay of 3 seconds. So you change your reflection and then there's still gone. It's not there yet. But you see, the key to this is to trust it. Your inner reality is not dependent on the outer reality. And if you make it dependent on the outer reality, it will be stubborn and it won't reflect you back to the new thing. You have to prove to yourself that you are not dependent on it. So you see, that's the key. The mere delay, you have to trust it and you have to let it be, and you have to focus more on the inside of the inner reality of having, the inner reality of being. The want is an externalization, looking to the outside. Having is an internal game. Then also being is an internal game. So it's a level of presence that comes with this. Now the third thing I wanted to share, so we have that of importance. We have that of the mere delay, understanding that and trusting it, and then knowing it's all an inner game. The third step is cultivating the vibration of being. Talked about this a little bit on a prior video, but for me, being was how I became a full-time YouTuber. I said, I'm gonna make videos every single day, act like a full-time YouTuber, and I know I'm passionate about it. I'm gonna talk about things I'm passionate about, and eventually my reality will shift because of that. Well, I had to trust that mere delay, because guess what? The first 3 weeks, the first 20 videos, while I was working a full-time job, I was very busy, but the first 3 weeks there was almost no results. But then eventually things began to grow. So the key to this is understanding your energy and going within and giving yourself permission to be. My dad, before he was a firefighter, went and got into the vibration of being a firefighter by volunteering at Boulder City Fire Department here in Las Vegas, which is 30 minutes away. And he would do those calls so that he could see what that was like, and he could get his name out there, and he could get, because it took him 6 times to get on. It's very hard to, they don't pick numbers top 10 people. He would test the top 5 or 10 almost every time. Well, 5 and 50, out of 600 people. So he's been the top percentage, but they don't pick numbers 1 through 10. It's sporadic. But eventually, he was consistent at it. He saw his vision. He stayed consistent to it. And then eventually it actually happened. So the key to this is understanding, trusting that process, and getting into the being vibration of that reality. So I did that with YouTube. I'm doing that in many different ways to get to this next level in my life. But those are the 3 steps that I highly recommend. Now here's something new that I have. I have a quiz that I made that will show you and reveal to you your actual vibration using an archetype, and you can calibrate your vibration, and then I give you a meditation that goes with your calibration that will help you get to the next level. It's absolutely free. It's called whatsmyvibration.com. Go to www.whatsmyvibration.com, and what you can do is you can fill out this survey. It has about 15 questions in it, and it will show you where your calibration is using an archetype, and I will give you a meditation. Plus, in the days moving ahead after you get that meditation, I will send you ways that you can get to the next level of consciousness. So find out your level of consciousness at whatsmyvibration.com. Other than that, let me know if you like this video. Smash that like button if you like it. And as always, I love you. I'll see you in the next video. Peace, much love, and namaste.